a wonderful Christmas gift for anyone who smokes because it says, Merry Christmas and Happy Smoking 200 times. Yes, 10 packs of those better-tasting Lucky.
Believe it or not, cigarettes used to be viewed as masculine. It was frowned upon for women to smoke, especially in public. So, who created a feminist smoking campaign known as Torches of Freedom that completely changed this narrative? It all goes back to one man, Edward Bernays, also known as the father of public relations and propaganda. Born in 1891, Edward Bernays, nephew of renowned psychologist Sigmund Freud, was the leading pioneer in the field of public relations. Using his uncle's studies on the unconscious mind and hidden desires, Bernays developed a strategy which he called the engineering of consent. This concept gave birth to a mass manipulation that controlled and continues to control the public, spoon-feeding us the products, beliefs, and politicians that they want us to buy into. But how could our consent truly be engineered? Don't we have control over our thoughts and actions? Well, not according to Bernays. He believed in the idea that, if we understand the mechanism and the motives of the group mind, it is now possible to control and regiment the masses according to our will without their knowing it. He explores this concept at large in his 1928 book, Propaganda. One of the many examples of Bernays employing this mindset is what he did for Beechnut, a company that had a long history of selling bacon. With a plateau in sales, Bernays concocted a plan to revive the company. He wanted to convince Americans that bacon was the perfect breakfast food. Prior to this campaign, it was unheard of to consume bacon in the early morning. It was widely common to eat a light breakfast such as coffee and toast, maybe some fruit. However, this did not align with Bernays' goals for Beechnut. His plan involved organizing a national medical survey, proving that a hearty plate of bacon and eggs would be beneficial for people's health. He reached out to 5,000 doctors, roughly 4,500 of which agreed to support his claims under such evidence as it provides more energy to start the day with. Using these statements and support from the professionals, Bernays successfully created the everlasting phenomenon in which bacon and eggs are considered a hearty, all-American breakfast. This is just one example of the manipulation that Bernays facilitated to aid his personal goals. However, his impact extends beyond just cigarettes and bacon. Bernays used his methods of manipulation to influence politics. In 1924, Calvin Coolidge was elected President of the United States, which may not have been the case if not for Bernays. Coolidge had a reputation of being dull and taciturn. To remedy this, Bernays organized pancake breakfasts and concerts at the White House, featuring movie stars of the day, such as Al Jolson, among other beloved actors, to counteract the public's view of the candidate. Unfortunately, Bernays' theories and writings on mass manipulation became a tool used by the Nazi Party. According to Dr. Richard Gunderman, an acclaimed medical doctor, professor, and historian, Joseph Goebbels became an enthusiastic supporter of Bernays' writings. This same man would become the chief minister of propaganda for the Third Reich, using Bernays' ideas to form what would become the Führer cult. In his 1965 autobiography, Biography of an Idea, The Founding Principles of Public Relations, Bernays revealed, "They were using my books as the basis for a destructive campaign against the Jews of Germany. This shocked me, but I knew any human activity can be used for social purposes or misused for antisocial ones." Bernays' teachings on public relations have been continuously debated throughout history due to their morally questionable nature. In 2002, the BBC released an extensive documentary titled The Century of the Self, in which Bernays is depicted as a sinister manipulator of the masses. Bernays' premise of using psychoanalysis to manipulate society as consumers has only been built upon as new media technology has continued to advance. In his article, Google Could Learn a Lot About You from its new gaming platform, writer Eric Ravenscraft explores the great extent in which Google has been analyzing its users' data to further prey upon them as consumers. He explains, While Google can already gauge your interests or political leanings from things like your search history, video games involve actively making decisions that reveal a surprisingly intimate picture of who you are. Digital media professor John Festinger describes this situation as a walking, talking Rorschach test onto which you project your decision-making. The future of new media technology allows for Bernays' use of psychoanalysis for marketing purposes to excel to frightening new heights. Our new media-ridden world lets massive companies gather every nuance and detail about our personalities and interests with the intent to serve them back to us disguised as various products. Even decades ago, in 1958, Aldous Huxley warned that it is important to not let ourselves be taken by surprise by the new advances in technology. As technology only continues to become smarter, it is more important than ever to stay aware of the ulterior motives that all lead back to Edward Bernays.